Hello guys, so today I'm going to touch base on the important topic of aliases. So aliases are really important. I'll just give you one practical use case. So what if guys I have before each hook here, it executes before each test. Let's just name it as before each for time being. And over here, let's say I have gotten some element, and let's say in before each, and what I'm doing is I'm just getting the first name, and then I'm doing some operation on the first name, right? Using then. Alright. Now, if I need to perform, so over here in this $ALE, right? If I have to perform some operation, I have to perform within these curly braces. I cannot take it outside this hook. And is there a way like what if like I can just store this first name somewhere globally, then I can use it in test case? Can I do that? Okay, so yes, you can very well do that. So for time being, let me just comment this code. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my first name here, and the way you can do that is you can use aliases. Okay, so rather than chaining with then command, you can store this element as an alias. So that is how you use an alias. You have to store this element as an alias, just use as and provide any name to it. That's my first name. Sorry, it should be first name. Now I can very well use it over here. So how can I use it? Get. Now in order to refer to aliases, I have to use at the rate. So I should know that I have an aliases, and I should also enter the alias name. So my alias name is first name. Okay, so this and this should match. This is actually first name. There is a slight spelling mistake. So this is how you can store element and then later use it using aliases, and you have to use at the rate sign in order to refer to any stored aliases. Okay, now this would work. Dot type, you can say this is my first name using aliases, or just name it as alias name, and if I save it, this should work without any problem. Okay, so that is how you store elements and you use it. But guys, there is a catch now. Let me just copy this and move it in before hook. What I have done basically is, it was in before each, I have moved it to before hook. Okay, no other change I have done. So let's see what happens. Okay, this works. Now let's do another thing. Create one more test. So over here guys, let me just create another test, IT and test2. What I'm going to do is, over here I'm going to get the first name dot type alias name, let's say alias in test2. What I'm trying to do is, I have two tests now. One is test2 and one is normal test. Both the tests are interacting with the element which is stored as an alias, which is at the rate first name, over here as well and over here as well. So let's see whether it will work. Okay, alias in test2, that has actually entered the text, but if you would see, could not find a registered alias for at the rate first name, and that has failed in test, right? In this test it has failed. What it basically has done is, it has come to this test, it has encountered this test first, which is test2, and it has entered in this test, right? Alias in test2. But over here it says I don't have visibility to alias. So that is where guys you need to be really careful about using your aliases. You cannot use in before. In before hook you cannot use. So the reason for that is, after execution of every test, Cypress clears out all the values, right? So it just starts afresh, right? You wouldn't be able to access any previous stored aliases. So in order to resolve this issue, in before each, you have to store that alias every time. Okay. So alias in test2, and then it has also entered the another test alias name which we were entering from test. Okay, but since we did not clear out value, so it has entered in the same line. Now guys, you might think like this is not an ideal solution, like for every, before every test I would write before each. Is there any solution for it? Yes guys, in our end-to-end framework we wouldn't do that. Let's say we have 100 tests, right? We wouldn't have 100 before each annotations. So we handle it in a very nice manner, and that where we use some JavaScript concepts. Okay, so there for that you have to refer my end-to-end framework video where we have scripted this entire website, okay? And also I have covered the framework structure, like how you should structure your framework in some sort of page object model, right? So refer to that playlist guys, to that series. You will have answers to all your questions, like how we can handle such situations. So that is all for this video guys, right? So we have covered a lot of core concepts in this and in some previous videos. Thus thank you, stay tuned, and do like and subscribe.